Mali, Bukina Faso, and Niger create their own bank. Congratulations. And then we're going to go to Malawi, where some of the youngsters in Malawi are going to work in Israel. What kind of job are they doing? Not good job. We're going to find out about that. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're very much appreciated. Hey, we like you here. Thank you for making the stop. My name is Zack. I don't know who you are, but if you watch this video till the end, we're going to like each other. This is family. Here we talk about the continent, Africa, the motherlands. You want to know about Africa? You are at the right place. Please click on the button, subscribe, so we can see each other every day. We don't play here. Every day, we pump it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 a day. Let's go. This is Mali, Bukina Faso, and Niger. You surely have heard about these countries for the past couple of days, or at least week or month. Why? Because they're doing a tremendous work. The three countries have decided to open their own bank. Congratulations. Pick up my coffee. Once again. Okay, so they're opening their own bank. Now you're trying to understand. Why is that special? Well, it's very special because it's a bank, one, for all of them together. Why is that possible? Because the three countries are actually one country. How do they become that? They became like that since July 6, 2024, where they came together, decided through a treaty that they will officially be a confederation called the Alliance of Sahel States, or RES. This is them. You see this guy, Ibrahim Traore, you probably have seen videos about him. Lots of people speak about him. Great guy. Well, he's not alone. There are three of them standing very strong for Africa. We're going to get back to that. They have established a bank for many reasons. We're going to find out what the reasons are. The bank aims to finance development projects and reduce reliance on Western financial systems, particularly the CFA franc, tied to France. Okay, fellas, let's understand this. You see all these countries here? They were all colonized by France. Yes, for the longest time. They were beaten up bad. The French actually forced them not to speak their own languages anymore. Yeah, they were forced to speak French. If you don't speak French, yeah, they beat you up really bad. And they also forced them to eat cheese and all that stinky cheese and stuff. Really bad. So a lot of people in these countries, they don't even speak their own languages. It's bad. Their mother's tongue, they don't speak. They may speak the national language, but the mother's tongue, they don't speak because speaking French has become like a degree. You know, especially when you speak, you sound like a Frenchman. That's the level of colonialism they've gone through. Now, in the 1960s, the French left eventually because it was the freedom, the independence across Africa, at least most African countries. Now, French people did something very particular with their colonies. They say to them, we are going to leave you, but in one condition, we need to sign a contract. That paper says, number one, we're going to keep our military in your country. So we're going to have a small little base where our soldiers are permanently staying in your country. No, not a lot, maybe 500 or to 1,000 soldiers going to stay in your country. Number two, you certainly need a currency so you can use because now you're a country. This is 1960 we're talking. Oh, we're going to print your money for you. Don't worry. We're going to create a currency for you. We're going to call it the CFA franc. You guys can use it. Yeah, don't worry. It's a gift to us. But your money will be tied to our money. Whatever value your economy is, it must have an impact into our economy. That was the deal with the French. Now, 60 years later, 2025, these countries still use the CFA franc. Yes, that's the influence of France in most of these countries. Now, these three countries have pushed away, and you probably want to know why. Because they were tired. Over the years, France has a monopoly over all these French-speaking African countries in terms of business and commerce. So when it comes to big companies, in most cases, they belong to French, not them. They speak French, but the Muzungu French is the owner of the big businesses. They control the ports, they control the sea, they control the bank, they control the food. Yeah, that's the truth. They have priority access into mines. They can choose who can come and mine in your country or not. Crazy stuff. It's a little bit like, I am giving you freedom, but whoever comes to your country wanting to do business with you, I have to agree to it. Yes, 2025. Now, many people believe that most of the leaders in all these African countries for the longest years were selected by France. In other words, if a leader comes into power and is looking after the interest of the French economy, good, he can say as much as he like. They won't call him dictator. He can stay for 40 years, 42. Like the Cameroonian president, the Gabonese president, they've been there for a long time. Nobody makes noise. Now, if a president comes into one of these African countries and he's trying to work for the interest of the people, prioritizing the people, trying to nationalize anything, then you hear, boom, a coup. Or he dies, or yeah, he just went to swim and he died, or he was just sleeping and he died, or he got a heart attack and he died. Yeah, that's how it happens. So basically, you must work with the interest of the French. If you don't, well, a time that's going to hit you, you're going to get into an accident. It's not the French, but it's something just going to happen to you. Now, these three countries have gone through the most. They have gold, they have uranium. The people are not benefiting from the money. You know, uranium is one of the most important, most sought after mineral. This is uranium. Uranium is what you need to create the atomic bomb. Look at this. This is the atomic bomb in Japan. The uranium used in Japan was mined in Shinkolobwe in the DRC. Now, Niger has a lot of uranium. Uranium can also be used for creation of electricity. You can create electricity using uranium. Matter of fact, for the longest years, France has been buying uranium from Niger at a very cheap price, taking it to Europe, transforming it to electricity. They make so much electricity, they sell electricity to other countries. In the meantime, people of Niger, some of them at least, have no electricity. That's how bad it is. Niger has to import electricity from Nigeria. Look at the map. Yes, these are two different countries. There's Niger and Nigeria. Again, Niger, Nigeria, the neighboring countries, as you can imagine, at the border, it's the same people. They speak the same language. They were just sliced up by colonialism. Obviously, the Nigerians have this different, but okay, let's not talk about Nigerians. Anyway, let's get back on track. Now, Niger had enough and say, you know what? We can't live like this anymore. We cannot continue to have our people suffering. Meanwhile, you're looting the country. And I was talking to you about Niger importing electricity from Nigeria. And I know a lot of Nigerians are surprised when they hear that. Like, how come? We don't even have electricity ourselves. Yes, brother, you don't have electricity because you are irrelevant. But your country has enough electricity to sell to Nigerians. When these countries say we've had enough, we don't want France anymore because we feel like we're staying into a cycle of poverty, serving them. We can't do this anymore. They toppled the president, all three countries. When the three countries toppled the president, the army took over leadership. However, all these countries here, they call the ECOWAS. This ECOWAS is just a bunch of countries coming together, talking nonsense to each other and acting big. They don't do nothing for the people, but you have visa free. ECOWAS countries were not happy because the ECOWAS leaders are civilians. Now, these three leaders, Niger, Bukina Faso, and Mali, are soldiers. ECOWAS did not like it because they felt like if we allow them to stay in power, it's going to prompt other people to overthrow government. Because these presidents, obviously, they love money. In Africa, when you're a president, you don't respond to nobody. In most Africa, except perhaps South Africa. And maybe, that's one of the 2 or 3 countries where you can... When you're a president, everything is yours. You're a king. Nobody questions you. You can unalive people. Yeah. They don't talk about it openly, but that's the truth. You make sure your family gets rich and stuff. These 3 countries had had enough of those systems. They say, let's serve the people. The problem emerged when they toppled their president. After toppling the president, this ECOWAS guy got very angry. They say, you know what? Let's go teach them a lesson.
So I tell you, we are ready to go. Anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided, which we are not going to disclose. There will be no more meetings of the chiefs of defense staff. If there will be, it will be probably in the course of the operation if there is the need to adjust the operation.
Now, this man speaking is Nigerian. He said, let's go teach the Nigerian a lesson. Because at the time, Niger just toppled Mohamed Bazoum. They wanted Mohamed Bazoum back in power. And they wanted to send a message to the world. Like he says, want to send a message. They don't want any country to think of toppling the government. So it wasn't really because they cared about what was happening in Mali, Niger, and Bukina Faso. It was more to protect themselves. Like, let's send a message to anybody, whoever wants to have such idea. So they can stay in power forever. When they say that, Mali and Bukina Faso say, if you dare attack Niger, you declare war against us. So we're going to go, it's going to go all out war.
Warned that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat, 4. Warned that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
And that's when they stopped. And by doing so, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger were very angry. They said, we thought we were brothers. So y'all were ready to come and attack us and destroy and kill people just because you want to save one man? You want to sacrifice the entire country? They say, you know what, this brotherhood is actually fake. We don't want this no more. We out of ECOWAS. That's when they left ECOWAS. They created a confederation and alliance of Sahel state. What improvement have they made since then? The Malian revised the mining code in 2023 to increase state revenue from gold. Mali primary exports producing $2 billion annually. So they changed things in a way that they can benefit from their gold. The previous government was making companies benefit more than the country. Now things have changed. The Malian government has modernized military capabilities, producing fully automatic pistols and combat vehicle at the Mwekassa military workshop. So Mali is now producing its own guns and stuff. They're moving forward. Let's go to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is now Africa's first largest gold producer, $2 billion annually. They revised the coding of mining in 2023 to increase state loyalty from 10% to 15%. So now the state and the people are getting more money from the companies. They're redirecting the funding to local development, like housing for people, hospitals, creating jobs for the people. That's how they're working. Burkina Faso had the issue with electricity, with 48% of the population living in darkness. Now they have prioritized energy, commissioning a 50 megawatt solar plant in Zagoutli that was completed in March 2024. So they're moving forward. Number 3, Burkina Faso. The Ouagadougou Road, 120 kilometers, was rehabilitated in 2024, improving trade. So they're building the road with the money they're making from mining. This is just a way to show you, fellas, that most African nations are not really poor. It's the leaders that are not nice people, because they don't give a continental about you, provided they're making the millions. That's how it works. And now it's fine, as long as I'm sipping on my champagne. The people can suffer. It's okay. The country is good. We're good. How many millions? Oh, we're good. Let them suffer. That's the mentality. And again, fellas, they are working toward creating their own currency. Remember, they're still using the currency from the French, and they can't just toss it away. So one step at a time. Now they got their own bank. Very slowly, they're moving toward their own currency. Unique currency for 3 countries. How are things run? Right now, they have one president. The president of Mali is running as a president of everybody, and they're alternating every year. That's how they're going to operate. Beautiful. That's the kind of Africa we want, or not. Let me know how you feel about that. And now we're going to Malawi. Fellas, Malawi has inaugurated its first embassy in Israel.
The Malawi president, as I said, has decided to open an embassy in Israel and establish it in Jerusalem.
Congratulations or what? Well, congratulations. Oh, okay. Anyway, they say the embassy opening reflects Malawi's commitments to fostering long-term relationship with Israel. This is what the foreign minister Nancy Tembo said, emphasizing they're very happy to open a Malawi embassy in Israel. Well, this is very interesting because, just a while back, Malawi sent youngsters to go work in Israel. What was the goal? To work in agriculture. No, not engineers, okay, agriculture. So it was actually at the time when the war started and all the people from other countries were running away from Israel, the Malawian government sent children during that very difficult time to go and work. The agreement signed aimed to send 3,000 workers from Malawi to Israel. I mean, this is very good. I like it. But my question is, why are they not sending Malawian doctors and Malawian engineers, Malawian professors? I don't know. Why only people that's going to wash cows' dung and clean and mop and wash the dishes? And I'm just asking. I mean, I'm just asking. Deployment has faced challenges, fellas. Reports indicate that some workers have left designated farms seeking for better pay elsewhere or asylum. So about 29 Malawians went to Israel and work. The government got paid for that. And they got to Israel. Some of them left to where they were supposed to be working, looking for jobs somewhere else. And some of them went looking for asylum. Like, okay, I'm going to stay. I don't want to go back to Malawi anymore. That sends a very negative message. Very negative message. Why? Because if there were opportunities in Malawi, these kids will not be working in Israel. Not at all. I mean, surely if you get a good job with a good pay or very similar pay, how much are they being paid? $500 for working in the field and cleaning cows' dung and stuff like that. As much as I believe they should create opportunity for the kids and stuff like that and have collaboration with countries, I don't think we should be perceived as second-grade humans. I'm sorry. Why are there not Malawian doctors working over there? You talk about exchanging knowledge. Where are the doctors to exchange knowledge? And the engineers? Are your engineers not good enough or your doctors not qualified enough? Just your people that wash dung and touch the cows behind that are qualified. And by the way, they're running away. Crazy stuff. And again, there is war over there. They're getting bombed by Houthis every single day. Why would you let kids leave home, go somewhere? I don't understand that. We need to do better as a continent. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. Mali, Bukina Faso, and Niger creating their own bank and very soon their own currency. Is this the way we want to see Africa move? And Malawi also, Malawi is going through the most. I'm sure it's going to get better. God bless.